ESPN's top 100 list. It's stirred up some controversy. This is only 100 through 51, but I've already seen one very specific ranking that has set the Twitter world ablaze. And that's the only ranking I know. That's the only ranking that I know. I'm talking about Dereck Lively, and we'll get to Dereck Lively when we get to him. But I haven't seen any other rankings here, so I'm excited to dive into this list. You guys know I love me rankings lists. Some people think this is the lowest form of content. I disagree. It's just a nice vehicle for us to talk about players. Let's get into it. Again, this is just 100 through 51. Full disclosure, Monday streams when I'm doing my top 100 list. I have it pretty close to finished. Not 100% finished yet. So I don't have like a lot to go off of this with. Let me pull up my little rough draft just to see how I feel about some of these. Let me pull up my little rough draft. I'm so excited for this NBA season, man. It's so close. You can literally taste it damn near. Literally damn near feels like you can taste it. Anthony Simons. Jack with the $9.99. Sorry that I'm late, but what are your thoughts on firing Jason Kidd after that atrocious performance yesterday? Yeah, he's got to go. Absolutely has to go. Him and Mike McCarthy, package deal, package firing. Get them both out. Get them both out. Anthony Simons all the way down at 100. I think he definitely has the potential to be much higher than this. Unfortunately for Anthony Simons, it comes down to health and being on the basketball court. And also kind of a weird fit with that backcourt, but okay. I don't want to spend too much time talking about these players individually because, again, I'll be doing that on Monday in my top 100 player list. Chris Paul, not sure if Chris Paul will make my top 100. I guess we'll have to see. Still a good basketball player, still a great floor general. Mike Conley at 98, just going to say right now, feels low. Herb Jones at 97 is egregiously low. Egregiously low. What is the rationale here for Herb Jones being all the way down at 97? I can't say that I agree whatsoever with that ranking. Al Horford at 96. Jalen Suggs at 95. That also feels a little bit low to me. Keegan Murray at 94. Brook Lopez at 93. So they're really marking down Brook Lopez quite a bit, huh? Jabari Smith at 92. Jonas at 91. Interesting. So Jonas a better basketball player than Herb Jones. Is that where we're at? I mean, there's zero argument for that, huh? Next to no argument for Herb Jones being higher than Jonas Valanciunas. Do they have Herb Jones listed as a center? Okay, no. That'd be kind of crazy. Wiggins at 90. Big drop-off for Andrew Wiggins. Big drop-off. Michael Porter Jr., kind of a big drop. Hartenstein here at 88. I've already seen the Hartenstein Lively thing. Going from unranked to 88. Naz Reid at 87. Jaime Jaquez at 86. So what's their thing? Is this like my preseason lists are usually predictive. I'm trying to predict how it'll look at the end of the season. Do they do something similarly here, or is this just like a where these guys rank heading into the season? How each player will perform this season. All right, so it is predictive. Okay. I'm only harping on that because, I don't know, Naz Reid, Hartenstein, I think are better than Jaquez. Especially if this is predictive. Like, Jaquez being ahead of Keegan Murray, to me, just feels weird. Lou Dort at 85. CJ McCollum, 84. Huge drop for CJ McCollum. He drops 40 spots. Marcus Smart at 83. Mitchell Robinson, 82. Miles Turner, 81. Jeremy Grant. Fred VanVleet. Yeah. Brandon Podziemski. Okay. Jade McDaniels here at 77. See, I'm just, spoiler alert, I think in my rankings I have Herb Jones ahead of Jade McDaniels. I do feel Jaden McDaniels is reaching this overrated territory, which is kind of weird to say because a player that has the profile of him, his play style, the defense, stuff like that, usually those guys are kind of underrated. But I feel like as time has gone on, he's become a tad bit overrated, dare I say. Tyler Hero at 76. DiVincenzo shooting up to 75. All right, a little aggressive, but I like it. Zach LaVine drops nearly 40 spots. Jared Allen drops nearly 25 spots. Okay. If the rankings are based on games played from January 3rd to the All-Star break, Allen will be in the top 50. Oh, that's when they had that crazy 18-2 run. Austin Reeves at 72. Clay here at 71. He's dropped 30 spots, but I think if Clay ends up being the 70th best player in the NBA, I think you're pretty okay with that if you're the Dallas Mavericks, right? Klay Thompson ends up being the 70th best player in the league. I think that's a win for the Mavs. Bradley Beal, huge drop. Jalen Green, Brandon Miller. Cade Cunningham at 67. They're going to eat their words. I'm telling you right now. They're going to eat their words when it comes to Cade Cunningham. Same salary. Would you prefer Michael Porter Jr. or Clay? Michael Porter Jr. Same salary? That's not even a question, dude. Draymond Green, 66th. Malik Monk, 65. Well-deserved. He's awesome. Emmanuel Quickley, wow, 64. Cunningham showing love. That's low for Cade Cunningham. I'm sorry. Cade was good last year. I just feel like he gets sort of ignored because of just how horrible the Pistons were. Chris Middleton at 63. KCP at 62. That's high. That is high. I mean, that is high. That's kind of insanely high. Josh Hart at 61. I don't know if I would say Josh Hart's a top 61 player in the NBA. Desmond Bane at 60. Caruso up to 59. Kobe White, 58. DG the PG, 57. He's dropped 20 spots. And here he is, Dereck Lively. Mr. Dereck Lively II, all the way up at 56. And this has been, by far, I think, the most controversial ranking in this poll from what I've seen on Twitter. And I will just come out and say it. I don't think Dereck Lively will be this high for my list. Okay? I think he'll be around top 60, top 70 or so. Sorry, top 70, more so. But let me say this. The biggest tweet that I've seen in relation to Dereck Lively's ranking here. And again, I think this is aggressive. This is me saying this. I think this is an aggressive Dereck Lively ranking. This tweet right here from Carson Breber. We need to collectively calm the fuck down about Dereck Lively. Hartenstein is a far better basketball player and is 32 spots lower. Why is he 20 spots higher than a far more established version of switchable, rim protecting, efficient finishing, decent playmaking big Jared Allen? So, in my rankings, personally, in my end of list rankings last year, which are different than my preseason list, I did have Hartenstein ahead of Dereck Lively. I did have Jared Allen ahead of Dereck Lively. So all of those things that he's saying right there are perfectly reasonable, I think. I will say this, though. And I also will say, just full disclosure, I think both those guys will probably end up being higher than Dereck Lively on my rankings, my future rankings. Hartenstein is not a far better basketball player. I'll draw the line right there. I don't know if I can get to far better. If you want to say Hartenstein's better, fine. But I think far better is pushing it a tiny bit when Dereck Lively was just better in the playoffs than Hartenstein was. You know, and I wonder how much that gets factored into things here. I thought Hartenstein was incredible last year. He was awesome. There's a reason why a reason why he just got a $30 million a year bag. But yeah, he's going to have to cash some checks this year. He's going to have to cash some checks. Hartenstein Lively's become, and this is, I've been saying this for a while now. Mavs fan base on Twitter is reaching an unhinged level. It's reaching an absolutely fucking unhinged level. I don't know what it is. I don't know what. I'm assuming it's because of how good they were last year, but I also think it's a nice little concoction, a nice little mixture of a rabid standum in Luka, a rabid standum in Kyrie Irving, those two being on the same team, those two kind of clashing back and forth, and then a Mavs fandom that's always been kind of, I want to say, like, disproportionately outspoken on Twitter, like relative to like size and team success. I always felt like Mavs Twitter's always kind of has always kind of been loud. But now it feels like Mavs fandom is rabid. They go after you. And I'm not saying this as a positive thing. I'm saying this as a negative thing. They go after you for just standard basic basketball opinions. Like, the amount of times you guys have rated the chat to tell me, can you believe Jason Timm said the Mavs are the 4th best team in the West? And I'm just like, okay, like, what the fuck's wrong with that? OKC is unhinged as well. I do agree with you there. OKC is very much unhinged. But, and I also think it's just a defense mechanism. Like, I think Mavs fans have had to develop this defense mechanism because there's always been the doubters about Luka, right? So you're a little defensive about that. If you want to go all the way back into the 2010s, late 2000s, defensive about Dirk. And I do think also having Lively, like, this is a genius tweet by Carson because he's Lively and Hartenstein. So you're getting these two rabid ass fan bases, the Mavs fan base and the Thunder fan base, pitted against one another. Like, this is a gold mine here for interactions and engagement and content. So just pretty funny. 56 is aggressive. It really is. I mean, that's high. Jaren Jackson Jr. at 55. Şengün. Şengün was not ranked last year. RJ Barrett up to 53. I saw people mad about RJ Barrett's placement. I didn't know it was 53. Just saw some people talking about it. RJ was really fucking good last year. Really good last year. After getting traded to the Raptors. Franz Wagner at 52. I think that's a little low. OG at 51. I'd probably have OG in the top 10 or top 50 as well. Yeah, Lively being one spot lower than Jaren Jackson Jr. He's got a lot to prove this year. He does. Dereck Lively, in a weird way. Like, the expectations that have been set on him, which is funny because last year they weren't even that high. And now it's like sky high. But, we'll see. You guys know I think the ceiling is very high for Dereck Lively. I've tried to temper some expectations from you guys. Just try to calm them down a little bit, but if Dereck Lively's the 56th best player in the NBA this season, that is a huge fucking win for the Mavs. Huge win.